begin.
Sleep is necessary for the human body. It is a time in which our bodies repair itself and make more things that we need. We need sleep for mental clarity. Sleep also makes us happier people in general. Today I'm going to be discussing three sleep disorders. I will be discussing insomnia, narcolepsy, and night terrors. I will also be telling you how to lessen the effects of these three disorders. About 70 million people in the U.S. have a recorded sleep disorder. In order to understand why disorders occur, we must first look at the basics of sleep. In the brain, we have neurotransmitters. The neurotransmitters we have in our brain are serotonin and norepinephrine. These neurotransmitters play a big part in the physiology of sleep. The transmitters lie within the brain stem and seem to shut down the signals that keep us awake. Once asleep, we go through five stages of sleep, from light to extremely heavy. The first stage of sleep is a very light stage. We sometimes associated with this stage of sleep is the hypnotic myoclonus, which is essentially a muscle twitch in which the brain interprets that we are falling and then we jerk awake. Our breathing becomes shallow and our muscles become limp. Stage 2 is when we have these things called sleep spindles. Sleep spindles are when the eyes stop moving and brain activity decreases. Also in stage 2, this is where we spend most of the night in sleep. Stages 3 and 4 are extremely deep sleep, and a person in these sleep stages are increasingly hard to wake up. Their muscles are completely relaxed. Stage 5 is also called REM sleep. REM is an acronym for rapid eye movement. In stage 5 sleep, our eyes are literally moving rapidly and in irregular patterns. Our brain function increases and it's easier to wake someone up in REM. Also, our breathing increases and our blood pressure rises. During this period, dreams and nightmares occur. When woken up in REM, people will remember their dreams. During sleep, stages fluctuate back and forth. We are not in a constant stage of sleep. Now that we know the basics of sleep, we can now talk about what happens when the sleep process or sleep itself goes awry. The first sleep disorder I'll be discussing is insomnia. Insomnia is simply a person that cannot fall asleep. They can't fall asleep because of some sort of outside stimulus, which is drugs or something psychologically going on in the brain, such as anxiety. Or the person can have something physically wrong with their brain. There are two different types of insomnia. Mild insomnia is an insomnia in which at some point in our life we're gonna have. It can be soothed pretty easily. We can relax by reading a book or listening to music. In chronic insomnia, a person has an underlying condition that causes the insomnia. The conditions are either physiological or physical. In rare or untreated cases, insomnia can lead to death. The next sleep disorder I'll be discussing is narcolepsy. Narcolepsy is characterized by a person's sudden, unexplained need to sleep right where they are. When they have this urge, they simply pass out and lose all their muscle tone. These people automatically fall into REM sleep. The onset of narcolepsy is late teens to early 20s. People that have narcolepsy suddenly go limp when they fall asleep. The limpness is called cataplexy. Cataplexy occurs when during sudden extreme mood shifts. These shifts are either good or bad, either a good or bad mood from either good or bad mood, or to a bad mood to a good. During cataplexy, they know exactly, the person that is suffering the cataplexy knows exactly what's going on, but cannot move. They're simply in a state of paralysis. After the narcolepsy episode, people can recall exactly what happened. To control narcolepsy and to reduce the number of narcoleptic episodes they have, a person has to take a drug or some type of medication. Narcolepsy isn't fatal, but is still a serious condition. It can turn dangerous when a person is driving and suddenly has a narcoleptic episode. The last and final disorder I'll be talking about is night terrors. Night terrors occur mostly in young children, but also happens in adults. Adults going through deep and emotional disturbances may sometimes have night terrors. A characteristic of a person having a night terror is that they suddenly start screaming and shaking, and they are not awake. When the person is awake, they can't account screaming or shaking, or even actually being scared at all. These people can vividly remember a single haunting image. The duration of a night terror is 20 minutes or less. They occur in REM sleep. People do not recollect the night terror because they weren't woken up in REM sleep. The way you can help stop or lessen night terrors is to look deep into the subconscious of the person. If you suffer from night terrors, you should consider going to a counselor and finding a subconscious reason for them. Night terrors are not life-threatening, but are very frightening for people that share the same living space with a person who suffers from night terrors. Today we have discussed narcolepsy, night terrors, and insomnia. I hope you feel like you have a better understanding of these sleep disorders and how they affect the person suffering from them and the people that are around them.